Mr. Lamb, well, that need not stop you. You need not mind. Dairy, it would stop them. They'd mind me. When they saw me here, they look at my face and run. Mr. Lamb, they might not. You'd have to take the risk. So would they. Dairy, no, you would. You might have me and lose all your other friends because nobody wants to stay near me if they can help it. Mr. Lamb, I have not moved. Dairy, no. Now, Dairy is trying to reason out with Mr. Lamb that if he'd come there when Mr. Lamb was not there, the other people who visit the garden, they will run away. They will not come because nobody wanted to be anywhere near Dairy. So to this Mr. Lamb says that they might run away, they might not also. So you'll have to take the risk, you'll have to find it out. Even they will have to find out whether they can stay around you or not. So I've not moved, he says. Dairy, no. Mr. Lamb, when I go down the street, the kids shout Lammy Lamb. But they still come into the garden, into my house. It's a game. They are not afraid of me. Why should they be? Because I'm not afraid of them. That's why not. So he says that the kids who call me Lammy Lamb, even they come to my house. When I go in the street, they call me Lamby Lamb. But they still come to the garden. They are not afraid of me, and even he's not afraid of them. Dairy, did you get your leg blown off in the war? Mr. Lamb, certainly. Dairy, how will you climb on a ladder and get the crab apples down then? So now he thinks about his leg and he says that, did you get your leg blown in the war? To this Mr. Lamb said, certainly, yes. Dairy, then how will you climb on the ladder and get the crab apples down then? Mr. Lamb, oh, there's a lot of things I've learned to do and plenty of time for it. Years, I take it steady. So to this Mr. Lamb says that I have learnt many things over the years. I had enough time over the years and I take it easy. I take it steadily. Dairy, if you fell and broke your neck, you could lie on the grass and die if you were on your own. So he says that if you were alone and if you climb that ladder and fall, you will die and no one will be there to help you also. Mr. Lamb, I could. Dairy, you said I could help you? Mr. Lamb, if you want to. Dairy, but my mother will want to know where I am. It's 3 miles home across the fields. I'm 14, but they still want to know where I am. So he remembers that his mother did not know where he was. So he says he wanted to help Mr. Lamb, but at the same time he was worried about his mother also. So he says that my mother does not know where I am. Though I am 14 years old, but still they want to know where I am. Mr. Lamb, people worry. Dairy, people fuss. So, according to Dairy, his mother fusses over him. It's not worry, it is just she creates a fuss. She wants to know where he goes. Mr. Lamb, go back and tell them. Dairy, it's 3 miles. Mr. Lamb, it's a fine evening. You've got legs. Dairy, once I got home, they'd never let me come back. Mr. Lamb, once you got home, you'd never let yourself come back. So, when Dairy says that if he went home, no one will let him come again. To this, Mr. Lamb says that it is you who won't let yourself come here. Dairy, you don't know. You don't know what I could do. So now Dairy says, you don't know what all I can do. Mr. Lamb, no, only you know that. Dairy, if I chose. Mr. Lamb, if you choose. If you chose. I don't know everything, boy. I can't tell you what to do. So he says, I don't know everything, boy. I can't tell you what to do. If you choose, you can do. Dairy, they tell me, Mr. Lamb. Do you have to agree? Dairy. I don't know what I want. I want something no one else has got or ever will have. Something just mine, like this garden. I don't know what it is. Now, when he says, they tell me what to do. Mr. Lamb, he says, do you have to agree? Do you have to do what they tell you? Dairy, I don't know what I want. I want something no one else has got or ever will have. Something just mine, like this garden. I don't know what it is. Now, he likes this garden, and so he says that I don't know what I want. I want something like this. I want this garden. Mr. Lamb, you could find out. Dairy, how? Mr. Lamb, waiting, watching, listening. Sitting here or going there, I'll have to see to the bees. So he says that you have to find out what you want. And when Dairy asks him how, he says, waiting, just wait till you finalize what you want, till you know yourself what you want, watching, listening, sitting here or going there. Then he says, I'll have to see to the bees. Dairy. Those other people who come here, do they talk to you? Ask you things? Now he's curious about the other people who come there also. So he asks Mr. Lamb that the other people who come here, do they talk to you? Do they also ask you things? Mr. Lamb. Some do, some don't. I ask them. I like to learn. Mr. Lamb says that I ask them questions and I like to learn. Dairy. I don't believe in them. I don't think anybody ever comes. You are here all by yourself and miserable, and no one would know if you were alive or dead, and nobody cares. So Dairy otherwise was a smart boy. So he says, I don't believe in them. I don't believe anybody comes here. I don't think anybody ever comes. You are here all by yourself, and you are miserable also because you are alone. And no one would know if you were alive or dead, and nobody cares. So he says that nobody would know whether you are alive or not, and nobody also cares. Mr. Lamb. You think what you please. Dairy. All right then, tell me some of their names. So now Dairy tells, okay, tell me some of their names. Mr. Lamb. What are names? Tom, Dick or Harry? Getting up. I'm off down to the bees. So he says, I'm going to my bees. Dairy. I think you are daft. Crazy. So he says that I think you are crazy. A little mad. Mr. Lamb. That's a good excuse. So Mr. Lamb says, when you can't find any other reason, so you call me crazy. That's a very nice excuse. Dairy. What for? You don't talk sense. Mr. Lamb. Good excuse not to come back. And you've got a burnt up face, and that's other people's excuse. So he says, it is good excuse because you don't want to come back here. And so this also is an excuse. You've got a burnt up face, and that's other people's excuse. Other people's excuse who don't want to be near you, who would run away, you say. Dairy. You are like the others. You like to say things like that. If you don't feel sorry for my face, you are frightened of it. And if you are not frightened, you think I'm ugly as a devil. I am a devil. Don't you? He shouts. So he says, you're like the others only. You say things like that. If you don't feel sorry for my face, then you're frightened of it. So actually, he wants to make sure that he wants to know the feelings of Mr. Lamb. He says, if you are not frightened, if you are not sorry, if you don't feel sympathetic, you don't take pity on my face, then you are frightened. And if you are not frightened, then you think how ugly I am. I am ugly like a devil. And I am a devil, he says. Don't you? Don't you think I'm a devil? Mr. Lamb does not reply. He has gone to his bees. Dairy quietly. No, you don't. I like it here. Dairy gets up and shouts, I'm going, but I'll come back. You see? You wait. I can run. I haven't got a tin leg. I'll be back. So, when Mr. Lamb goes away, he speaks to himself. He says, I like it here. And you're not crazy also. So, and he says that I'm going, but I'll come back. And see, I can run fast because I don't have a tin leg. Dairy runs off. Silence, the sounds of the garden again.